Yo, what's going on, people? I want to do a part two to a video I did a few days ago on why I support Karmelo Anthony. This is a part two, and I titled it because he's black. And I feel that, well, first of all, I want to let you know it wasn't a satire, wasn't being sarcastic, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was explaining that people look at emotions and skin color when it comes to what's right and wrong. Everyone does it. And I was trying to explain that as a black man who has experienced racism, discrimination, unfair treatment, been fired from jobs, been lied on by non-black people, been persecuted, out of all that I just said, I'm going to side with someone that looks like me. But based on what I read and the facts, I feel that he is innocent based off of that. It was a guy who was a lawyer. He was on Vlad TV. He's a black guy. He's a Second Amendment advocate. I don't really remember his name, but he was talking about the George Zimmerman. I'm gonna definitely leave the link in the description box of the video. He was talking about the George Zimmerman verdict and how he, as a black man, was furious about it. But as a lawyer, he felt that Zimmerman was right. He was not guilty based on the verdict. So that's kind of like what I was doing. Like I said, as a black man, I support him, hoping he can get off. And I believe he's innocent based on the facts. And I was also trying to say that every group does it. Why is it when we do it, it's a problem, but everyone does it when it comes to a black man killing a white person or a white person killing a black person? Races, and usually it's about income. Poor racist people, poor white people, poor black people, poor Hispanic people, poor Asian people, side with one another based off of race and emotion. It's not necessarily rich and wealthy blacks and whites. When you see a bunch of hardworking, lower income white people, they tend to side with whoever looks like them, because you have this whole tribalistic mentality when you have to compete against other people in jobs and resources. And I say that a lot. But I don't understand what is the obsession with Karmelo Anthony, with everyone? Like, I mean, at least the opposition. What is the obsession when this case, whether he gets off or not, doesn't affect you personally? What is that? How is that a ruin? How does that benefit your life? Because I'm not like blocking the comment section. Leave whatever you want. Leave whatever comment. I'm just not going to read them at this point because it's like the video is still getting viewed. And I don't know when I'm able to go viral, but the point I'm making is everybody sides with who looks like them. When you're poor, whether it be white, black, Hispanic, you side with who looks like you. That's just how that is. What is right and wrong? Someone asked me the question: Does skin color, does it ignore? So does logic and reason go out the window when everything is based off of race? Yeah, it does. When you're poor and you're working class and you don't make a lot of money, yes, race does matter. Right and wrong can have its own meaning at that point. And I'm just telling you the realities of being a working class individual. It does go out the window. And if you don't believe me, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, have like a white person do something to a black person in like a poor white town. most of the time they're going to side with that white person. They're not going to side with the black person, whether they be right or wrong. And they probably are Christians. You know, this is probably like a Christian, God-fearing, Bible-toting town, but they're not going to go off of facts. They're going to go based off of race. And what we have to understand is race really only matters when you're poor. Now, I say that, I promote that on this channel because it's true. I had somebody call me, and I really didn't care, but people that use like slurs tend to be broke and poor. I try to refrain from that because I think it's just, regardless of how I work, how I make my money for now, I just think it's a little corny to be, you know, calling people out their name. It just shows that you have, for one, you know, you're not very sophisticated, and it's just, you know, it's pretty corny at this point. We're in the 2025. It's pretty corny to use slurs on somebody, and I'm a little older, but I'm siding with Karmelo Anthony, based off of the fact that I'm black, and I feel that he's innocent. That's what I'm siding with. And what I just told you, I think anyone would do the same thing. If you were white and you dealt with, you know, oppression or harsh treatment from black people, you may side with somebody that's white, knowing they're wrong based off of how you feel. That is very normal. That's all I'm trying to say in the video.